By 431 BC, Athens has become something unprecedented in the Greek world. Not just a city, a force, an empire disguised as an alliance. The Parthenon stands finished on the Acropolis, white marble catching the morning sun. 47 years of democracy, wealth flowing in from across the Aegean. War is coming. Everyone knows this. They live anyway. The day begins before dawn. In wealthy households on the slopes below the Acropolis, oil lamps flicker to life, clay vessels filled with olive oil, wicks of twisted flax. The light is orange, warm, insufficient. A woman carries water from the public fountain on Hadrian Street. The bronze vessel weighs 60 pounds when full. She makes this walk twice each morning. Her left shoulder sits higher than her right now. 3 years of water changes the body's shape. First light reveals the agora. Merchants arrive from Piraeus carrying goods that cross the Mediterranean. Grain from Egypt, timber from Macedonia. A fish seller arranges his catch on marble slabs still cool from the night. Sardines, anchovies. 3 octopuses with tentacles that drape over the stone edge. The fish came from the Saronic Gulf 3 hours ago. By afternoon they'll spoil. He knows exactly how long he has. Everyone who sells fish knows. The Panathenaic Way cuts through the agora's center. 40 feet wide. Packed earth and gravel worn smooth by 10,000 footsteps daily. A man in a white himation stops at the bronze merchant stall. The price is too high. It's always too high. They negotiate. 20 minutes. Neither yields completely. A drachma and 4 obols settle it. This is how commerce works. Every transaction is theater. Money moves constantly. Silver drachmas stamped with Athena's owl. The coins are heavy, real. A merchant weighs each one on a small bronze scale he keeps tucked in his belt. Trust no one's word. Verify the silver. A single drachma buys 3 days of barley for a family. 6,000 drachmas a year means wealth. Most men see 300. The distance between these numbers is absolute. The assembly meets 40 times a year on the Pnyx Hill. 6,000 citizens required for a quorum. Today isn't a meeting day. Men gather anyway. They always gather. Democracy means constant conversation. A sandal maker argues with a ship owner about Spartan intentions. Their voices rise. Neither has military experience. Both have certainty. This is Athens. Everyone speaks. Everyone knows. A potter works in the Kerameikos district. His foot pumps the wheel. His hands shape a kylix, a wine cup. The clay is red. His fingers are brown with it. He's made 10,000 of these cups. His hands know the curve without thought. The clay comes from Mount Hymettus. The same mountain produces honey that merchants sell from Spain to the Black Sea. Mud and sweetness from the same earth. The connection exists. No one remarks on it. 250,000 people live in Athens and its surrounding territory. 40,000 are citizens. Adult males born to Athenian parents. 30,000 are medics. Foreigners permitted to live and work, but never to own land. The rest have no political rights. The ratios are simple. The system functions because it's the only system anyone knows, or the only system that matters. In the andron of a wealthy home, a man reads from a papyrus scroll. His slave stands nearby holding a lamp closer. The man's fingers trace the words. No spaces between them. Reading requires skill and concentration. The text is Herodotus. Histories of the Persian Wars. The lamp flickers. The slave adjusts his grip. His arm burns from holding the position. He doesn't move. This is his function. Women navigate the streets with purpose and destination. A citizen's wife walks from her home to visit her cousin. She brings an attendant. Respectable women don't walk alone. They don't linger. They don't speak to unfamiliar men. The rules are unwritten and absolute. A woman can spend 40 years in Athens and never see half the city where she lives. Architecture enforces this. Social rules enforce this. The combination is total. Inside homes, courtyards open to sky. No glass exists for windows. Wooden shutters control light and weather and privacy. The andron faces the street. The gynekon sits at the back. Men's space. Women's space. The layout is not accidental. Space determines possibility. A home is a map of social order made physical. The Parthenon dominates every sightline. 46 outer columns, 160 hidden interior columns. The ivory and gold Athena inside stands as tall as 4 men. Phidias designed it. Pericles paid for it with tribute money from the allies. The allies call it theft. Athens calls it security contributions. The temple rises regardless of what anyone calls it. The marble is so white it hurts to look at in full sun. On the street of the marble workers, a sculptor chips at a relief panel. Small strikes, precise angles. Stone dust covers his forearms. He's carving a horse's head for a funerary monument. The client wants it finished by the new moon. The sculptor doesn't hurry. Stone reveals itself slowly. Force it, and it cracks. He learned this apprenticing for 12 years. Some knowledge cannot be rushed. The theater of Dionysus sits empty. 3 days a year it holds 15,000 people on stone benches. Today a playwright works at home, writing verses on papyrus with a reed pen cut sharp. The ink is lamp black and gum. He's composing a tragedy. The story is ancient. The treatment is new. Every play is this balance. Old myths, new meanings. The audience expects both. Lunch happens at midday. Bread made from barley, olives cured in brine, goat cheese, wine mixed with water. The ratio is usually 3 parts water to 1 part wine. Only barbarians drink it straight. The wealthy add fish. The very wealthy add meat. Pork for festivals. Beef almost never. Cattle plow fields and honor gods. They're not for eating except on sacred occasions. The law courts operate daily, except during religious festivals. 6,000 citizens serve as jurors, selected by lot each morning. No lawyers exist. Men argue their own cases. The water clock measures speaking time. A merchant accused of fraud watches jurors drop bronze discs into urns. Solid disc means innocent. Hollow disc means guilty. The discs rattle as they fall. He counts the sounds. His life changes in the time it takes to count to 300. The long walls stretch from Athens to Piraeus. 5 miles of parallel fortifications 30 feet high, wide enough for carts to drive on top. They make Athens invincible. As long as the navy controls the sea, the city cannot be starved. This is the theory. This is the strategy. This is what makes Spartans hesitate. The walls were finished 20 years ago. They've never been tested. Soon they will be. At Piraeus, 200 triremes rest in covered shipsheds. Each requires 170 rowers. Each is a weapon of geometric precision, 20 feet wide, 120 feet long, bronze ram at the prow for punching enemy hulls. A single trireme can travel 120 nautical miles in a day under oars alone. Nothing moves faster on water. Nothing. The docks never stop. Longshoremen work in the permanent smell of salt and tar and sweat. They load grain. They unload copper ingots from Cyprus. A man hooks a rope around an amphora of wine. The vessel weighs a talent, 60 pounds. He lifts 40 per hour. His lower back has hurt for 3 years. He's 34. The mathematics are clear. His body will fail before his need for work does. Near the fish market, a netmaker works with cord and shuttle. His hands move automatically. Over, under, pull, knot. He doesn't watch his fingers. He watches the boats coming in. His son rows on one of them. The boy is 17. The netmaker taught him to read the water's color, predict the catch, understand currents. He taught him everything except how to want a different life. A blacksmith strikes iron at his forge. The metal glows orange. He hammers. The sound is rhythmic, precise. He's making a plow blade. Yesterday he made sword tips. Tomorrow he'll make door hinges. Iron doesn't care about its purpose. Only the smith's customers care. He heats the metal again, strikes again. The shower of sparks is brief and beautiful and dangerous. He doesn't notice anymore. On Nob Hill, a single estate covers an entire city block. 12 bedrooms. A symposium room for 20 guests. Quarters for household staff. Marble floors. Painted walls. 3 miles south, 6 families share a wooden building with a single courtyard and 1 well. The distance between these places isn't measured in streets walked. It's measured in generations of wealth. The gap cannot be crossed. Everyone understands this. The agora smells like everything at once. Fresh bread from the baker's stalls, olive oil, fish going bad in afternoon heat, sweat, donkey dung, incense from the temple of Hephaestus at the western edge. The scent shifts as you walk. 5 steps and the smell changes completely. The city enters through the nose first, the eyes second. A teacher leads 4 students through the stoa of Zeus. They're discussing whether the sun is a hot stone or a divine being. This is dangerous philosophy. But Athens allows questions, mostly. The students are 15, 16 years old. Their fathers fought at Marathon. They themselves will fight in the coming war. Youth and warfare exist on the same timeline here. Always have, always will. In the gymnasium, young men train. Wrestling, running, javelin. The training is for war. Everyone knows this. No one says it. An instructor watches a boy practice with a spear. The throw is good. The form is wrong. He corrects the grip. The boy tries again. Better. This is how soldiers are made. Repetition. Correction. More repetition. The process takes years. The war will require all of them. The wealthy own land in Attica. Their workers tend olive groves that have stood for generations. Some trees are 300 years old. Gnarled trunks thick as a man's body. The harvest happens in winter. The processing is immediate. Olives to oil to ceramic vessels for export. Athens produces the finest oil in the Greek world. This isn't pride. It's fact reflected in market prices from Alexandria to Byzantium. A vendor sells figs in the agora. Fresh ones, dried ones. The fresh figs won't last past tomorrow. She knows who will buy them. A regular customer approaches. They don't negotiate. She hands him a basket. He leaves coins. No words needed. They've performed this transaction 3 times a week for 4 years. Commerce can be silent when trust exists. On the Acropolis, a priest prepares the evening sacrifice, a goat. The animal stands calm at the altar. It doesn't know yet. The priest's knife is bronze, sharp, ancient. The blade catches sunlight. The throat is cut cleanly. Blood runs into channels carved in the altar stone. The channels are worn smooth from centuries of use. The meat will be distributed to citizens. Nothing is wasted. The gods receive smoke and honor. Humans receive protein. Religion and economics are not separate categories here. A symposium begins as the sun sets. 7 men recline on couches in a well-appointed andron. A young servant mixes wine in a large crater. The men discuss poetry first. Homer, Hesiod, then politics. Always politics. Should Athens strike Sparta first or wait? Voices rise. Arms gesture. Wine flows. These men will command ships in the coming war. Tonight they drink and argue. The combination defines Athens as much as the Parthenon does. A grain merchant reviews his ledgers by lamplight. The accounts are written on a wax tablet. Income, expenses, profit. The margins are thin. Competition is brutal, but the market is vast. Greek goods flow from Spain to the shores of India. Athens sits at the center of trade routes spanning the known world. Geography is destiny. The merchant knows this. His grandfather knew this. His grandsons will know it too. Darkness arrives suddenly. No streetlights exist. No torches line the roads. People who must move at night carry their own flames. Most stay inside. The city transforms after sunset. Different people claim the streets. Those without choice. Those without options. The night belongs to labor that daylight doesn't see. The marketplace empties as shadows lengthen. Vendors pack unsold goods. A vegetable seller dumps wilted greens in the street. Pigs will eat them by morning. Athens has no organized waste removal. Garbage accumulates in alleys. Rain washes some of it toward the Eridanos River. The smell is constant, permanent, unremarkable. This is what cities smell like, what they've always smelled like. In a modest home near the agora, a family eats dinner. Bread, lentil stew, onions, dried figs. The father is a carpenter. The mother weaves fabric he sells at market. The meal is quiet. Efficiency. Fuel for tomorrow's work. Tomorrow will resemble today. Next month will resemble this month. Routines have weight. They create the sensation of permanence. The war will shatter this. But tonight there is bread and family. Tonight is enough. The philosophical schools operate in late afternoon. The sophists teach rhetoric for fees. Young men learn to argue any position convincingly, win any legal case. The skill is practical. Democracy rewards persuasive speakers. Truth is flexible. Persuasion is currency. An older generation finds this disturbing. The young find it essential. The tension between traditional values and modern methods defines every conversation. In a workshop near the Dipollon Gate, a carpenter planes wood. Long strokes, curled shavings fall to the floor. He's building a door frame for a new house. The wood is cypress, resistant to rot, expensive. The client has money. The carpenter works carefully. His reputation depends on every joint fitting perfectly. He learned his trade from his father. He'll teach his sons. If they want to learn, if the war allows it. The Acropolis glows faintly under moonlight. White marble reflects even weak illumination. From a distance, the temples seem to float. This is intentional. The architects understood optics. Every column has a slight curve. Straight lines appear bent at monumental scale, so they built curves to appear straight. Nothing is accidental. Appearance and reality are managed with mathematical precision. A physician treats a patient in his home. The man has a fever. The physician checks the pulse at wrist and neck. He examines the tongue. He asks about urine color and consistency. His diagnosis is an imbalance of humors. The treatment is bloodletting and herbal tea. The patient will recover, or he won't. Medicine is art and observation and hope. The physician charges 3 drachmas whether the patient lives or dies. In the potter's quarter, kilns glow in the darkness. They burn all night. The heat must be constant. A potter checks the temperature by color. Orange means hot enough. White means too hot. He's fired 1,000 kilns. He knows the colors the way sailors know stars. The pots inside will emerge tomorrow. Black figures on red clay, or red figures on black. Athens is famous for both. The techniques are secrets worth keeping. The Delian League began as an alliance against Persia. Now it's an empire with Athens at the center. The allies pay tribute or face consequences. Their ships rot unused while Athens builds more triremes. Their silver decorates Athenian temples. The system functions through implied force. No one refuses tribute who survives refusing it. Power doesn't apologize. Power simply is. A baker wakes at midnight to start his ovens. The bread must be ready by dawn. He kneads dough by feel in the darkness. His hands know the texture required. Too wet, and it won't rise. Too dry, and it won't bake properly. He's been doing this for 30 years. His lungs are damaged from breathing smoke. He coughs constantly. He makes bread anyway. The city needs to eat. The moon is 3/4 full. Sailors navigate by it. Farmers plant by it. Women track their cycles with it. The lunar calendar governs religious festivals. But the solar year governs planting and harvest. The two systems don't align perfectly. Every few years, an extra month is added to correct the drift. Time is not absolute. It's negotiated. Near the Dipollon Gate, guards keep watch through the night. They sit by a small fire. They talk quietly, complain about pay, discuss rumors. Sparta is coming. Everyone says this. When is the question? The guards don't know. They watch the road anyway. This is their job. Watch the road. Stay awake. Notice anything unusual. The city's safety depends on noticing. A prostitute works in a house near Piraeus. She's a hetera, educated, trained in music and conversation. Her clients are wealthy merchants and ship's captains. She charges 5 drachmas for the evening. She speaks 3 languages. She owns nothing. She saves everything she can. Freedom costs 50 minas. She has 27 saved. The mathematics of liberation are precise and slow. By midnight, symposium's quiet. The wine is finished. The arguments are exhausted. Men leave for their homes. The streets are dark and empty. Dogs bark in distant neighborhoods. Athens in 431 BC stands at its peak. The Golden Age. Maximum power, maximum confidence. Everything after will be measured against this moment. The war will last 27 years. The plague will come in crowded streets. The city will never be the same. But right now, Athens is invincible, believes it is. Belief is all that matters. Tomorrow the potters will work. The assembly will meet next week. The triremes will sail when called. Life continues with the rhythm of centuries. Bread baked, clay shaped, silver weighed, words spoken in the agora. Sacrifices offered to gods who may or may not be listening. This is Athens, not the Athens of ruins and tourists. The Athens of smoke and voices and ships' oars. striking water in perfect rhythm. The city exists between past and future, a democracy built on exclusion, an empire claiming to defend freedom, a culture producing philosophy and tragedy while preparing for mechanized violence. The contradictions are not hidden. They're embedded in the streets, in the laws, in every conversation. Athens contains multitudes, and in 431 BC, before the first Spartan army crosses into Attica, before disease arrives, before everything changes, the city is simply itself, proud, powerful, certain. The watchman on the walls sees the first hint of dawn. Gray light, not quite morning. The transitional hour. The city will wake soon. The agora will fill. The pattern will repeat. This is civilization, not the buildings, not the ships, not even the laws. Civilization is the pattern of 10,000 people performing the same tasks in the same ways day after day. The pattern holds, until it doesn't. If you enjoyed this reconstruction of ancient Athens, subscribe to our channel for more historical journeys. Leave a like if you want to see more cities from the past. Share this video with anyone fascinated by history. The past is waiting. This video aims to portray daily life in Athens during 431 BC based on historical research and available documentation. Our goal is educational, to help viewers understand how ordinary people lived during this specific moment in history. We recognize that historical reconstruction has inherent limitations and that different sources may present varying perspectives on the past. This content is not intended to offend any individual, group, or community, nor does it claim to represent absolute historical truth. We present this narrative with respect for all cultures, peoples, and experiences, acknowledging that history is complex and multifaceted. If you have additional historical insights or corrections, we welcome respectful discussion in the comments.